yourself in a situation as a woman in leadership or perhaps a man in leadership, and you just did not know how to read the room or how to read a person, I'm going to share with you one of the most, and I mean most, important strategies that you need to start developing or enhancing as a communicator that will help you to learn how to read people and help you to master reading people. I'm going to share with you what this one strategy that I'm going to let you know about, that is somewhat of a secret that people don't talk about a lot on YouTube, what it is. And I'm going to share with you an example of how reading a room, reading a person specifically, will tell you a lot about their intentions, even if you've never met this person before in your life. Now, if this sounds like a topic you are interested in learning a lot more about, then you absolutely want to watch this video to the end, because I'm sharing with you over 20 years worth of expertise in different roles as a senior leader, as a director, a C-suite executive, an executive coach, and a public speaker that will help you to be that person that stands out from everybody else so you can start learning how to read people better. If you are new to me or you are one of my amazing subscribers, welcome back, friend. I hope you're doing well today. This channel focuses heavily on advanced communication skills and strategies. This is for the individuals that are in leadership roles that are dealing with more high stakes, more high pressure situations. This is where leaders come to learn how to communicate more confidently and concisely under pressure. And if that's you, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I work specifically with women in leadership in terms of my executive coaching and consultation services I provide. If you're a woman in leadership and you're at the point where you're trying to figure things out, you need to develop a strategy. You need to understand how to communicate confidently under pressure so you can earn more income, you can make that big impact on the world, or do some other amazing things you want to do, then contact me for an executive strategy session in the description below at exciteexcellence.org. Now, the strategy I want to share with you today as it relates to mastering how to read people, what you need to do, heavily focuses on your nonverbal cues. Now, if you're not familiar with nonverbal cues, I'm going to go into just the number one nonverbal cue I want to share with you today. But there's a lot that goes in learning how to read people. But being able to take some time to observe someone's eyes is critically important to you learning how to read somebody. Now, I want to say hello and welcome to those of you who are watching this video live today. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you are joining from today. And would you like to learn how to start reading people? Put it in the comments below. Let's talk about it. If you have a question about it, let me know. I'm sharing with you secrets today that you are not going to find anywhere else here on YouTube that talks about this specifically. I want to say hello, peace, and joy 247. Hello, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you all are joining from today. And if you want to learn how to master reading people, I'm giving you secrets here, some knowledge that will help you as you are developing yourself as a woman in leadership, or perhaps you're a man in leadership, or maybe you're someone that is not a leader yet, but you're thinking about it. Observing someone's eyes will tell you a lot about how they feel about you, what their thoughts are about you, and etc. Now, this that I'm sharing with you is not only for the times when you are having a conversation with someone that you know. You can observe someone's eyes in terms of what they are doing and etc. and what they're telling you, even if it's someone that you've never met before. Let me give you an example. I attended an event previously, and there was a speaker that was at the event. Now, this event specifically was an event for entrepreneurs, talking about different aspects of entrepreneurship, helping individuals grow their businesses, and etc. Why am I sharing this story with you? Because sometimes you need to hear how these things actually can happen in real time to learn how, if you can start mastering this advanced communication skill in terms of observing what someone is doing with their eyes when they are speaking with you, it helps you to communicate more confidently, whether the conversation is a very friendly conversation or the conversation goes into a different direction. It just depends. So I want to share that with you today. Now, at this event, as I mentioned, this is an event for entrepreneurs. We're all here to help each other. Thank you for the heart emojis and smiley faces, friends. I appreciate that. So what happened? Let me share with you my take in terms of what happened. And this is interaction happened with someone I've never met before in my life. Okay. So what happened is there was a speaker there. This speaker was very, very energetic. At first glance, you would think this person was just very energetic, very excited, will help you with anything you need to have help with your specific business. Just by the way the conversation was and the presentation was. Now, of course, I'm a public speaker for over 20 years, and our presentation styles may be a bit different. I'm a bit more polished. This person was not as polished, but still a very good speaker nonetheless. Now, at the end of the event, they had a question and answer session. And from my perspective, the person gave off those energetic vibes that they were very, 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 very happy and very, very, very excited to be at this specific event. So what happened? Brandon Palmer, hello. I'm going to say hello, read your message in just a second. What happened? There was a point where everybody was joining the conversation or coming to talk and ask this specific person a question. Hello, Carrie Boone, how you doing? And I noticed that as everyone came up to speak to this specific speaker, I heard, that's a bonus, I heard the same response being said to every single person. So I thought to myself, well, that's a bit of a canned response, a templated response, but I didn't think too much of it. I said, I'm not going to worry about it. Maybe that's how they communicate. Next, I had the opportunity to communicate with this person. I introduced myself, and the person initially, their eyes were very excited, or they appeared to be very excited. I said, hi, my name is Dr. Jacinta. I introduced myself very briefly. The person's eyes, their eyebrows went up and their eyes got a bit bigger. It seemed as if they were excited initially. But what I want to share with you is the secret. This is the secret that you have to pay attention to. When I had this conversation with this person, their eyes were big, like they were excited. And so initially I thought they were very excited. But then guess what their eyes did? They went straight down. Now, you may be thinking, well, what does this have to do with reading people? What I'm sharing with you is high level of observation skills, because this person, even though I introduced myself and said hello, they showed disinterest immediately when their eyes went down. So the next time you have a conversation with someone and you're having a dialogue and you're not sure of how does this person think about me, what are their thoughts, and etc., watch their eyes. If their eyes are providing you with direct eye contact, then they are interested in what you have to say. If their eyes are maybe looking to the side, they may be trying to see what's going on in the room. Or if their eyes go down and they're not making full eye contact with you, that is a cue for you to know this person is not interested in what you have to say, whether this is someone that you know or someone that you do not know. And if that's the case, you know you need to summarize this conversation relatively quickly. What did I do? I asked a specific question and I left. I could have asked more questions and had more of a dialogue, but if I get the nonverbal cue by reading this person that I do not know, and I am determining that this person obviously is not interested, even though I literally just said hello, then why would I waste my time in this conversation? I have other things to do as an entrepreneur. Now, I share this with you because these skills I'm sharing with you, this is the reason why people sometimes get it wrong, especially leaders, when it comes to reading people. You have to take a few moments and be very observant of their nonverbal cues because, as I mentioned, this person was excited, had a lot of energy. I thought they were very energetic, but their eyes told me the contrary. Their eyes told me that they could really care less about what I had to say, even though my interaction was just, hey, how are you? Now, I could take it a step further and say, if someone says, hey, how are you, specifically, and their eyes go down, that may not necessarily mean it has something to do with you. They just may not be interested in what you have to say, and they may put on that fake persona that they actually care what you have to say, but in actuality, they really don't. All right, let me go to the chat. So Brandon Palmer said, hi, how was your day? Brandon, I'm doing fantastically well. We are talking about a couple things as it relates to advanced communication skills and strategies that focus more on those very high stakes, high pressure situations that we experience as leaders. Carrie Boone, hello again, welcome. And Brandon Palmer, let's see. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're referring to. It doesn't make sense to me in terms of what you're saying. That's the only reason why I'm not going to read that out loud. But if you can clarify, I'll be happy to read your comment. All right. So as I mentioned, the reason why people tend to struggle with reading people is because they don't pay attention to their eyes. Now, as I mentioned at the very beginning, there's a lot you have to do to pay attention to someone and start learning how to read them specifically. Starting with their eyes is one way. What are their eyes doing? Are they showing that they're interested in what you have to say or they're not? And then if you notice that someone's eyes are not interested, then you in your mind have to determine, do I want to continue with this conversation or do I need to wrap this conversation up? Why leaders get this wrong is that we are sometimes trained to listen to what someone is saying instead of observing what they are not saying. And this is a secret. This is what I work with my one-on-one clients or my group clients that I work with specifically to start picking up on those cues when someone is not interested in what you have to say or if they're interested in what you have to say. Now, you can use this skill I shared with you in terms of observing someone's eyes when you're having a conversation with them to help you in so many different ways, especially if you find yourself in a conversation that may be very friendly or a conversation that may become contentious or maybe not as friendly as you'd like for it to be. Pay attention to the person's eyes because it will tell you which direction you need to go in with your specific conversation. Now, if you happen to be a woman in leadership and you know that you want to fine tune your skills in terms of how you communicate more confidently and concisely in those very under pressure type situations or high stakes situations, you're welcome to reach out to me for an executive strategy session. Go to www.exciteexcellence.org and look at products and services, and we can schedule some time to help you set yourself up for success. Majority of the time when people are really struggling with leadership and they're frustrated with maybe their peers, maybe their boards, maybe in their businesses and etc., is that we do not pick up or observe very carefully those nonverbal cues that would tell us which direction this conversation needs to go. The conversation is either going to go one of three ways. Your conversation is going to either continue and be very friendly, or it's going to stop in a few moments, or it's going to end abruptly. And it's really important to develop that decision-making tree. I talk about this a lot in your mind when you know I have a conversation that is going in a different direction. I didn't anticipate it to go because I'm picking up on nonverbal cues that this person is either not interested in what I have to say, maybe they're very interested in what I have to say, or maybe they're at the point where they don't care what I have to say, or they may be getting very upset. You have to pick up on those type of nonverbal cues and gestures very, very quickly, because this is how you can start learning how to think on your feet. This is how you can start learning how to master your emotions. This is how you can start being able to communicate more confidently and concisely under pressure if you can very quickly identify when the conversation is changing. And a lot of times the conversation will change by the facial expressions first. Often that will follow the tone of voice, which is the reason why on my channel I focus heavily on those nonverbal cues, because it actually will tell you a lot about a conversation. You could be speaking to someone and they sound really happy to talk to you, but if you look at their eyes and you see how their eyes may be looking down or looking away, it may tell you that they may not be as happy to speak with you as you think they are. And in your mind, that's when you cut the conversation short. I enjoy speaking with you. I hope you have a great day. Or thank you for answering my question. Or I appreciate your insight. And then go about your way doing whatever it is you need to do. Now, if you like this information so far, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. It does allow the video to go out to more people. and it allows it to be seen by other audiences. And I appreciate you so much for doing that. If you're one of my amazing subscribers, I am so glad that you are a part of the community, friend. What I'm sharing with you is high level communication skills. And if you want to be that person that stands out from your peers, maybe you are aspiring to own your own business, aspiring to be a C-suite executive, aspiring to be a director, aspiring to be an influencer, whatever it is that you're trying to reach towards, being able to communicate in those very high stakes, high pressure situations is a requirement. It is something that you have to learn how to master and have to learn how to navigate, how to do it. And the reason why you will stand out so much more from other people by subscribing to this channel is because majority of the people in the world are not taught to communicate at that higher level. Most of us hear random things on YouTube about you need to communicate better, or there's this leadership model that's going to help you communicate better, or there's this communication model you might want to take a look at, or there's this theory you may want to take a look at. I don't talk about those things on this channel because I find that information to be not helpful when you are in a real pressure situation. I'm sharing with you over 20 years worth of expertise of myself being in very friendly conversations and very contentious conversations that you can only really understand if you've actually been in it. This is not necessarily the place where I will give you that 50,000 foot view that says, oh, you should try this communication model and that communication model and this theory and this hypothesis. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever had that situation happen to you specifically, or you've been in an under pressure situation. Maybe you've been in an interview. Perhaps you've been in a contentious conversation. Maybe you've been in a salary negotiation. Maybe you've had a promotion conversation. How many times do you think about, oh, wait, I'm going to use this leadership, this communication model to address the situation? You don't need that at that point in time. You need real structure, how to handle yourself and your emotions under pressure. And many people struggle with this, which is why I'm incredibly passionate about helping you all go to that next level and sharing with you everything that I have learned over the past 20 years interacting with congressional leaders here in the United States at the highest levels of our government, interacting with other C-suites, other business owners, and etc. to help you all advance in your careers and really go to that next level compared to everybody else. One more thing I want to share with you as it relates to mastering reading people. There are three. There's a lot more, but I have my main three areas or aspects of communication that many people struggle with in general across the world. That is silence in a conversation, eye contact, and facial expressions. If you can learn how to start mastering these aspects of communication that most people struggle with, you will automatically elevate in terms of how you communicate with other people. Now, if you like this information, there's several videos on my channel on my live tab that go into a bit more detail that provides you with some fundamentals that you want to start developing if you're trying to master communicating in those very contentious or sometimes challenging situations. It doesn't have to always be contentious. You may just be having a difficult conversation with someone. Take a look at a couple videos that talk about thinking on your feet, managing your emotions under pressure, your eye contact. Watch out for my cowboy analogy. That is my analogy for eye contact. How to use your tone of voice and your body language. Any one of those videos will give you some foundation to learn a bit more about me and to learn a bit more about what are some aspects of your communication that you may think you're doing very well at, or you may know you need to improve that you might want to enhance or elevate. Those videos will give you a great place to start. If you have any questions specifically as it relates to this topic or any issues as it relates to communicating at that higher level, maybe you're trying to negotiate your salary, maybe you're trying to advance in your career and you're struggling with your teams or you're struggling with your peers and you know something's missing, contact me if you're a woman in leadership and let's have a conversation about how I can help you overcome these challenges to see if it's a good fit for us to work together so I can help you fast track your success that you are trying to accomplish. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the next video. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the comment section. I will do a video just for you to help you on your journey and give you a shout out in the video. If not, you're always welcome to reach out to me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook at Excite Excellence, for those platforms at Dr. Jacinta Lamantai on LinkedIn. I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.